Welcome to the Monday stream. Hope everyone's having an awesome Monday morning, and hope everyone enjoyed their holiday weekend. Their long, well, in some cases, long holiday weekend. I did have Friday off, so that was good. And hope everyone stayed safe out there. And yeah, for those of you that don't know, in Tennessee there was a bomb that went off in Tennessee, and as of right now, just so that we can get that one, because we don't really know much. We don't really know much other than who the person was. They confirmed via DNA test that it was that Warner guy. We don't necessarily know 100% his motivations for doing so, but there are sources close to the investigation saying that it had to do something with conspiracy theories relating to 5G, so on and so forth. But until they come out with the complete and whole story, at this point, that's all we have. And well, that's it. I mean, this weekend has been a little bit slow considering it was the holiday weekend, but that was the big story that's still ongoing. And the other story that we're gonna have to talk about here, hold on guys, is of course the stimulus check, the stimulus package. So the $2,000 proposal, was not approved. It was rejected by the GOP in the House. Today they're gonna try again with another vote. Donald Trump has signed the entire relief package of $900 million. So at least we know one thing is that those $600 checks are going to be going out, and those rent protections, unemployment protections, and things like that are still going to be active for now. But today they're going to hold the House is going to hold another vote for another vote for the $2,000 check. All right, folks. So let's get on with some headlines here, just really quickly. I know that there hasn't been too many headlines, but of course we will get through them. The president signed the massive spending and stimulus package Sunday night, so this was actually last night, bringing Washington back from the brink of what may have been weeks-long government shutdown and potentially months more of pain for millions of Americans who need expanded unemployment benefits. Hey, Madam Defarge, how's it going? Small business loans, a federal eviction moratorium, and direct checks. So this is what the entire bill should have honestly been about, right? I mean, this should have been the entirety of the bill here, right? Expanding unemployment benefits to make sure that people are able to afford the basic necessities while they're unemployed. Small business loans to actual small businesses, federal eviction moratoriums, and a stop on mortgages, right? Like a kind of a mortgage freeze, or provide some type of funds so that people don't get kicked out of their houses, right? As well. A federal eviction moratorium, and of course direct payments to Americans to inject into the economy. The president's signature came after days of quiet and careful nudging from House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, an ally and leadership who has publicly maintained a strict allegiance to Trump. Senator Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina Republican, and GOP Senator David Perdue, who's fighting for his political career in a runoff in Georgia. By the way, the polls in Georgia don't look too good for Perdue and Loeffler, but who knows? It's still very, very, very close. And personally met with the president over the holiday break, according to sources familiar with the discussions. Perdue worked to be an invaluable voice in the president's ear, according to multiple aides, encouraging the president to sign the bill that he argued could bolster the GOP Senate majority and inevitably be celebrated as a win for Trump in his waning days in office. Imagine a great victory for the American people is a measly $600 check. Imagine that being a great, massive victory for the American people. Is a $600 check. Okay. There may not be a government shutdown, but the uncertainty, pain, and drama surrounding the last 5 days were always avoidable. The president never had to torpedo a bill that his own Treasury Secretary negotiated. True. This is very true, but still, the fact that this was such a problem to debate, the fact that it was so difficult to negotiate direct stimulus payments to Americans, or to increase unemployment benefits, to extend eviction moratoriums. I mean, the fact that this had to go through a whole bunch of debates and stuff like that, while tax cuts to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars to foreign aid, at this point, billions of dollars to an over-bloated military budget. I mean, I know the military budget and all of these other things are extremely, extremely complicated, but I think that in and of itself is a problem, right? And the president's delay in signing the COVID relief package has real impacts, further delay to get aid to Americans who have already been waiting for months. Yeah, and to be clear, there's some people who never got their first stimulus check. There's some people who are still trying to fight for basic unemployment benefits. Just basic unemployment benefits. Because it's already hard enough to get some of these programs. The president's statement made clear on Sunday night that he needed to find a way back away from the cliff he'd pushed Congress into. So he said in his statement that the Senate had agreed to start the process for a vote for increasing direct checks to Americans under certain income levels to $2,000 and a vote to repeal. Wait, what? Oh man, dude, Darknet was 100% correct. Darknet was 110% correct. Ooh. Wow. Incredible. To certain incomes to $2,000 and a vote to repeal Section 230, which protects tech companies from being held liable for what is posted by their users on their website. Trump also said that an investigation would begin. Here we go, on voter fraud in the U.S. Senate, and he would be sending over a series of rescissions cuts that he wanted to make made to the broader omnibus spending bill, which funds the federal government. Of course, like a lot of the spending bill is completely overbloated, that's for sure. Hey, Memmius, how's it going? Making breakfast as usual? Nice. Hey, Zoo, how's it going? Hope you're doing alright. Notably, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's statement shortly after Trump's announcement included none of those promises. Oof. McConnell, a Kentucky Republican who somehow managed to win his seat again, congratulated Trump on signing the bill and said the bipartisan rescue package that the Republicans in Congress and the Trump administration negotiated with Democrats will extend a major lifeline to workers. A major lifeline. Imagine. An extra couple $100 just so that you can stay afloat. Barely. That's McConnell's reminding ever so gently that his administration was in the room the whole time during these talks via Secretary of State, via Secretary Steve Mnuchin. The issue of the 2,000 checks will come up in the Senate. It's just not clear it passes. It also appears right now that the only one who has said he will push for it is the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Wait. Are you for real? There is definitely more than one person pushing for this. That is okay. That is a lie. Wait, what about that other Republican senator Hawley? What about Bernie Sanders? The House will pass a bill to give Americans $2,000 checks, and I will move to pass it in the Senate. Yeah, cool. Any senator could object to Schumer's request, and it's likely going to go down, given the fact that many Senate Republicans have been opposed to direct payments in part because of how much they cost. Oh boy, oh man, imagine worrying about that in this day and age. Imagine simultaneously worrying about how much it's gonna cost to get direct payments to Americans, and at the same time approving 700 and something billion dollars for the military, approving hundreds and millions of dollars in foreign aid, tens of millions specifically to democracy processes in other countries, democracy programs in other countries. I mean, yeah, sure, but our citizens getting much needed aid. Oh no, who's gonna pay for it? Who's gonna pay for it? Hey, Alexander, exactly. The military budget is just stupid. Yeah, like a lot of how these budgets work are way too complicated for absolutely no reason. The 1,200 checks cost at least 350 billion. Wow, they approved a 900 billion package, and just a stimulus check would be about what, a third of it. I'm rounding off, but it would be roughly about a third of it. So the other third should be making sure small businesses have what they need to survive, and then anything else would be towards making sure that rent moratoriums, mortgage moratoriums, unemployment programs are bolstered. That could be the entire relief package right then and there. Because honestly, you should be focusing on the people and on the working class, the middle class, and the small businesses. That's where all of this should be going to. In terms of an investigation into election fraud, Senator Ron Johnson, a Republican from Wisconsin, has already said publicly that if he were to lead the permanent subcommittee on investigations in the Senate, he would use the committee's resources to investigate issues related to voter fraud. Yikes. He already held a hearing on the issue as chairman of the Senate Homeland Committee, but sources say it's unlikely for the expected new chairman of Homeland Security, Senator Rob Portman, to take up that torch, and Trump will be out of office in a few weeks anyways. U.S. military budget is greater than 10 countries combined, while the people beg for some basic healthcare during pandemic. Gross. True. Oh, this is your senator. Isn't that right, Dark Knight? We can't afford helping our own citizens, but we can afford the military to police nations who don't want us to be there. Hey, Alio, how's it going? Oh, by the way, Darknet, you were correct. Hey, are you okay, buddy? Are you alright? Wish soy wish that millions died because communism kills millions. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble reading this statement. Are you okay? Can somebody decrypt this? Wish soy wish? I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, so oh yes, Darknet. You're absolutely right. The president is trying to push the 2000 checks and the repeal of section 230. Huh? Listen, I hope you're okay. And I hope you I hope one day trolls in chat, yeah. uh yeah, trolls in chat. It's okay. No, they didn't technically insult me. But they didn't technically insult me, but oh man. Um but yes, Darknet, it seems like you were proven correct. Wow. Thank you so much. Oof. My goodness. Thank you so much for the tier 1 gifted sub. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at that. We got extra extra emotes that are shared. Nice. Thank you so much. You keep popping up in my recommended channel, Subman. Hey, awesome, sweet, cool. I didn't realize that Twitch actually had some type of referral service or I guess algorithm. But hey, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh man, hold on. That guy reminds me honestly of So do we think Trump purposely waited to sign unemployment lapse or accidental practice? Yeah, I think I don't know. It could be any combination of anything, to be quite honest. It could be honestly any combination. No. We want the remix.
As I mentioned, we are not prepared to give that number. The media is covering up. The media is covering up. The Biden crime family is the light. Give us our freedom. We want our freedom for the world.
I'm going to give summary for every troll that gets in the way of national discord. Thank you. Twitch Alco doing something right? Yeah. I actually didn't hear this one.
the video's coming up. The video's coming up. The video's coming up. Give us our freedom. We want our freedom for the world. 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 World, world, world. We want our freedom for the world. We want our freedom for the world. We want our freedom for the world. World, world, world. The Bible Christ never steals this election. The Bible Christ never steals this election. The Bible Christ never steals the election. Give us our freedom. We want our freedom.
Biden stole the election better than Trump. Yeah. Oh man. I'm so glad someone has taken the time, like, I'm so glad that a bunch of channels have taken the time to make these remixes to illustrate the ridiculousness.
Where were we? What was the last question?
He's like, what? Oh man, that's too good. That's just too good. My sister lives overseas, and the contempt and mockery is real. You know, at this point, like, we're beyond parody at this point. Biden is gonna take away your barbecue beer and freedom. Yeah, so this is where we're at in terms of the stimulus check. So the $600 was passed and signed by Donald Trump, and it seems like there's going to be another bill separate from that to take up the option of the $2,000 ones. We'll see how that one goes. I wouldn't hold my breath. No, it looks like you said it was signed by Trump. Yeah, the $900 billion relief omnibus package, the really big one, was signed by Trump. The $900 billion one, the one that includes the $600. Trump to headline Georgia rally next week ahead of crucial runoff. So I'm imagining another super spreader event. Yes, yesterday, last night actually. So taking a look at, I know there's been a little bit of, let's be honest, a little bit of media scare regarding this new variant or mutation of the coronavirus. But it seems like in terms of the efficacy of the actual vaccine, it seems like it's not really going to affect the efficacy of the vaccine, or it hasn't been found to be resistant to the vaccine, so that's good news. If anyone has any serious questions about coronavirus, about the vaccine or what's going on, I highly recommend you check out Doc Midnight. They are a fantastic streamer regarding and doctor. So he takes questions regarding coronavirus and things like that. U.S. health officials believe the coronavirus mutation that set off alarms in parts of Britain is no more apt to cause serious illness or be resistant to the vaccine than the strain afflicting people in the U.S., but it still must be taken very seriously. What's noted about this new quote-unquote mutation, so just to clarify, viruses mutate all the time, okay? So the coronavirus has mutated already. Plenty of times. Now, the reason why they're taking a look at this is because it seems, based on some of the data that's starting to come in, it seems like it's a little bit more contagious than the other variants. However, in terms of how it afflicts people and in terms of whether or not it changes the efficacy of the vaccine is yet to be seen. In other words, all it's doing is trying to do what viruses do, which is become more contagious. Dr. Fauci endorsed the decision of U.S. officials to require negative COVID tests before letting people from Britain enter the U.S. Yeah, I mean, of course. I think that regardless of the strain, that should kind of be standard procedure, don't you think? He declined to weigh in on whether the steps should be taken sooner. He said that the variant strain is something to follow carefully and we're looking at it intensively now. Yeah, sure. Science-based medicine is also excellent at bringing down the COVID studies, etc. At breaking down COVID studies. Is that another streamer or YouTuber? He said, does it make someone more ill? Is it more serious virus in the sense of virulence? The answer is it doesn't appear that way. But if British officials are telling their US colleagues, it appears that the vaccines being rolled out will be strong enough to deal with the new variant. But Fauci said we're going to be doing studies ourselves. Yeah, I mean, all it is just simply, that this virus decided that it does what it does. It mutated. It seems to be just a little bit more contagious, but no effect on the efficacy of the vaccine, which is, I would say, probably the concern, and no effect on the lethality. So we'll see. Fauci said that the U.S. is at a critical phase of the pandemic, with the worst probably still ahead. Right. So that doesn't mean to let your guard down. That doesn't mean because I don't want people to think that, or to have a false sense of security that, oh, we have a vaccine, it's over. It's not quite, right? We must get at least anywhere from realistically 70 to 80% before we start seeing some real results, and that means who knows how long that's going to take, right? We're already seeing issues with the logistics of this vaccine, and we also have the PR battle of people who are refusing to take the vaccine if it continues to show good results, right? All right, so for those of you that that are just arriving, this is the latest that we have. I wonder if that name science-based medicine is a reaction to Trump banning that specific language at government agencies. Interesting. Science-based medicine is a group of physicians who help break down science for general public by writing articles and no streaming. Oh, that's really cool, actually. We need more of that. We need more of that. I think that we need more of that, and it'd be awesome if we could have a kind of a network that would be that's kind of like this, that's designed to break down scientific studies and stuff like that, to make it easier for the public to understand. And I think that this could be super, super, super effective and moving in the right direction to get the public educated about climate change. You know, that would be a great thing. I wish there was more than just science-based medicine. Is that them? MIT also did a lecture on coronavirus that is now available on YouTube. Nice. Nice. A great landing page, Drew. I find the politicization of science so bizarre. Right, like I don't get what would be so controversial, or I guess polarizing about science. I mean, it's just like, okay, so a consensus of science has told us that the consensus of science has told us that you know, I don't know, the sky is blue, and then like someone on a rando on the internet starts a conspiracy theory about how the sky is actually not blue, it's actually green, and it's like, all right, I don't get it. And then of course it becomes an entire political issue, right? I don't know. I think that if there is a consensus of, if there's a scientific consensus and the data shows that X is true, or X is what's happening in the real world, then I think we should, like, just as a baseline, right? Just as like, just objectively speaking, that should be like the standard, right? Unless something changes, because science is ever changing. Unless something changes, I mean, that's what we should follow. Like, some people are were screeching about how, oh, you know, one day the experts were telling us that we should be doing this for coronavirus, and then the next day the experts were telling us to do that for the coronavirus. Well, yeah, I mean, it's an unprecedented situation, and we get constantly new information of this. So yeah, whatever the current consensus, whatever the current scientific consensus is, or in this case, healthcare professional consensus is what's probably should be followed, right? All right, so I know most of you guys already know that this incident happened in Nashville. This is the third or fourth article I've seen where we can kind of dive into what the motives were. All I know is that on Christmas morning, it seems, Christmas morning, a RV blew up in right near the AT&T building in Nashville, Tennessee, and caused quite a bit of damage. It has been identified that the person who is believed to have perpetrated this is also dead, as remains were found, and it seems like DNA evidence confirmed that it was the same person. Federal investigators are looking seriously at whether paranoia over 5G technology led an Antioch man to detonate a bomb inside inside of an RV in downtown Nashville Christmas morning, killing himself, injuring 3 others, and damaging more than 40 buildings, according to law enforcement services. Now, law enforcement services. This is why conspiracy theories and things like this are so dangerous, right? And why, when it comes to reality, there's got to be a baseline of what is objectively happening here, right? That's why it's so frustrating and sad that this potentially could have been the motive for someone to think in their head that they need to decide to detonate a bomb because of some conspiracy theory. Who knows? As a scientist, nothing is more frustrating. I bet. He sounds like he's a follower of a certain British wingnut, aliens, and 5G. Oh man. I mean, this is Alex Jones territory, right? The sources told ABC News, and again, this has been reported to multiple outlets. This has been reported by multiple outlets that Anthony Warner may have been motivated, at least in part, by paranoia, which is possibly extended to a range of things, including the existence of life in outer space. Metro Police and the FBI have not revealed if they believe the AT&T building where the RV was parked was Warner's intended target, but said they are investigating. Don Cochran, the U.S. Attorney for Middle Tennessee, announced Sunday evening that Warner was killed in the explosion, which occurred at 6:30 a.m. Friday morning near the 2nd Avenue North and Commerce Street, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Yeah, this is so bizarre. Prior to the explosion, Metro Police said that the Warner's RV played an audio recording of a countdown and a warning for people to evacuate, and the song Downtown by Petula Clark. One Metro officer was knocked to the ground, while another suffered a temporary hearing loss as a result of the blast. 3 other people were transported to the area hospital with injuries that were not considered to be life-threatening. The investigation into the explosion remains ongoing. Yeah, of course. We don't necessarily know, but it seems like multiple outlets have reported this. Who knows if this ends up being true? But if so, Madam Defarge is correct. Now it's just plain dangerous, right? Remember when conspiracy theories used to be just fringe and funny? Now it's just downright dangerous. Like, yeah, it's a meme, right? Like to kind of like make fun of some of these conspiracy theories, but like it only takes one. If this is true and they end up corroborating this, because again, this is only based on, I know plenty of outlets have reported this, but this is only based on speculation or a source that's close to the investigation as to what his motivation was. And I mean, these things can translate into real life scenarios, right? I mean, the stuff that some people are allowed to spew on the internet can be translated into stochastically into real world things, right? I'd argue it's always been dangerous. Yeah, Sloppy D. This is, I mean, remember the guy that ran into the pizza parlor thinking that there was kids being held against their will? Yeah, that guy could have hurt somebody. He went in there with several guns, did he not? The guy from the pizza parlor? Years ago. If anybody has like a good insight on this, it's probably Mono. He's a regular and a mod here who actually got his master's studying this type of stuff, right? It's dangerous when anyone sees them as fact instead of imagination. Right, like it's just so dangerous to have a super large following and then starts talking about, how we must take back our country, how the election was rigged, how there's absolutely no way I could have lost. This is why this type of rhetoric is so dangerous, right? What is this? What is this? Is this for real? Is this like a real headline? It is a form. Yeah, I mean, for real. I mean, you're starting to talk about, you're starting to talk about how there's like a grand conspiracy of things that are not based in reality. I mean, you should probably see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And yeah, so like we have treated it as otherwise. Yeah. Can only identify it as such when it gets to the point of shooting people and blowing things up. Yep. Is this... Ooh. Nope. Is this unironically a serious, legitimate headline? A familiar tug of war around work and enhanced unemployment benefits has reemerged as jobless workers seem poised to get a 300 boost in weekly benefits. Wow. Wow, 300 bucks. Workers would get a 300 a week infusion through the middle of March as a part of $900 billion relief package awaiting Donald Trump's signature. At this point, he already paid. At this point in time, he already signed this bill. Tucked into the bill are return to work rules for states, which must ensure businesses have a way to rat on workers who turn down the job offer. Cool. Oh my goodness. We have a raid from Comrade Bubbles. Thank you so much for the party of 19. Thank you, Sloppy D, for the follow. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Thank you guys. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you for the follow, Not Dead Will Ghost. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Hope you're having an awesome morning, and hope you guys have an awesome Ooh. No wonder I'm not seeing anything. There we are. Jeez, no wonder I'm not seeing any alerts. Thank you for another gifted tier 1 sub. Wow, thank you so much. Hey Subsdub, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. Awesome, holiday weekend. And hope everyone can report that it was just kind of a time to rest and hang out, watch movies, right? Hey, Olo Bust. How's it going? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hey, the Canterbury. How's it going? Thank you so much, Comrade Bubbles. What makes it good? What, the holidays? Hopefully, hanging out, chilling. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I watched Wonder Woman. The weekend could have been better. I mean, was the movie good? I saw a lot of people say that the um Wonder Woman 84 was actually pretty good. I don't know. It was bad. Oof, no. Dark Knight, they had me till the end. Oh man, really? All right, wait. No, no, no. No more spoilers. No more spoilers. Cuz I think I made the connection there. Just about everyone I heard said it was really bad. Wow. Oof. Hope you're doing all right, K Sizzle. Really? Well, I guess I got to check it out for myself. Oh man. And I just got rid of my oops. Superhero movies don't need to be good. People will still watch them. Yeah, true. True. Hey, Larry Weird, what's bad? Apparently, the consensus is that Wonder Woman 84 wasn't as good. I mean, from what I've seen, I thought it was. From the reviews that I saw from people who posted about it, seemed to be pretty positive, but I guess not. Yeah, I mean, they're entertaining cases. They're entertaining. Yes, the new Wonder Woman movie. They should be illegal. Ban all ban all superhero movies. No more. They shall be no more. How much people like you read articles for entertainment? Hey, some people love some people love just like getting into the daily news with other people, right? The Boys was great. Ah, yes, I need to catch up on that. Not the best, but in top 10. You see, like there's people who liked it. W84 was the plot was David Tennant Doctor Who episode. Interesting. Maybe so. Hey, Carpet Packs, how's it going? Hope you're doing all right. News is better than fiction. Well, sometimes it's really hard to differentiate or satirize anything at this point in time. All right, folks. Please, if you haven't already, go check out Comrade Bubbles. Go check out Carpet Packs. Go hit them up. Go hit that follow button over there. The Onion just gotta try harder. I actually saw at the a couple years ago, a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2017. No, that's probably 2017, 2018. There was a headline from the Onion themselves saying the Onion goes under as they're unable to come up with new headlines. Oh man, did they not? Man, did they not realize just how much worse it could get? Satire died when Henry Kissinger won the Nobel Peace Prize. Oof. Quite honestly, that sounds like something like Chomsky would say. I thought that was irony. Yeah. That's more of a irony thing, right? Yeah, that sounds like irony. Yeah. Tucked into the bill are return to work rules for states which must ensure businesses have a way to rat on workers who turn down a job offer. Nice! During a pandemic. Great. Great success. Such a refusal renders workers ineligible for jobless benefits and the extra pay. The rules largely amount to pageantry since they don't create a new legal requirement for workers, and states have already mechanisms in place for such reporting, so it's just nonsense. However, the rules revive a heated argument from the early days of the COVID pandemic and its resulting economic calamity. At the time, Republicans believed generous benefits offered an incentive to remain unemployed. Wow. I'm not surprised, Michelle Evermore, senior policy analyst at National Employment Law Project. It's been a huge talking point all year. Like, what is the talking point here, right? When Congress issued a 600-week boost to unemployment benefits in the spring as part of the CARES Act, the backlash was swift and fierce. The goal of the infusion, coupled with typical state benefits, was to fully replace lost wages for the average worker, almost about $1,000 a week. Typical state benefits generally replace half of lost wages. So, the horror, guys, the horror that somebody who, through no fault of their own, during a freaking pandemic, would actually get close to their full wages. Wow. The absolute horror that some of the people who, through no fault of their own, lost their jobs, are struggling, are just trying to eat and keep a roof over their head. It's a huge talking point to cover essentially their entire paycheck, which, again, almost every other country, most of a lot of our European friends have already done this. This wasn't an issue. This wasn't a debate, right? This wasn't a debate. I mean, some countries covered 70%, some countries covered 80%, some countries did 100% of your lost benefits. Some provided a set monthly limit that everybody got, and every unemployed person got, regardless. I mean, what is the giant backlash, right? Oh yeah, wow, the people getting actual getting their actual wages taken care of so that they can stay home. Jesus Christ. So many unemployed people are still not getting benefits. Yeah, and that's even like the worst part of it too, because like, yeah, sure, the people who actually got the unemployment get their wages covered. Okay, cool, but it's extremely difficult, and if you there's a lot of means testing that goes into unemployment, and this is only limited. This isn't like that they're just gonna keep people at 100% of their paycheck forever. Jesus, this is a method of trying to cut down or contain the pandemic, because they need to pay people to stay home, and they also need people to be able to spend money. Okay, how do you spend money? By buying food, buying stuff online or something like that. Whatever it is, you need to give people money in their hands, so that they have enough to cover their expenses. They have enough to put a roof over their head, so that they don't have to put themselves at risk of continuing this pandemic by forcing them to work when they don't have to. Yikes, Wing. So many older people around me say they should have just planned ahead and worked harder. That's such cringe. Must be nice to be available, to have the ability to get Social Security and Medicare, right? It was a Tom Lear song. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yikes, Madame Defarge. Get hit by property taxes instead. The absolute max unemployment in my state is 427 a week before taxes. What exactly are you supposed to do? Geez, I think. Okay, so 400. Yeah, that's like 1600, right? Like let's just boost it up because it's 427. So let's just say it's about 1700 dollars, right? If I did my quick maths, I just rounded down 425 times 4. Should be about what? 1700 ish? 1708, thank you. That's not even rent in a lot of places, okay? That's barely rent in some places, I should say. So how are you going to pay for food? What about the absurd medical bills that you may have if you, God forbid, catch this thing without insurance? Exactly, Wing. We live in a consumer economy. If people don't buy, the economy dies. Exactly. So it's like one of those rare instances where if you really want to get us going in terms of the economy, actually money printer go burr would be a good strategy, and getting that money into people's hands is the way I would solve this issue. Most rents where I am start 800 for a single without utilities. Yeah, so it probably ends up being about 1,000. So cool. Hope you have enough to pay the car, insurance, all this other stuff. A one-time 50K check to everyone. Can you imagine? Oh man, that would be amazing. It would be like a one-time check for the year. Like, okay, look, you get this one-time 50K check a year. Do what thy will. That would be crazy. Oh man, can you imagine? It is inherently unsustainable. That's right, Holistic Field. Exactly, old Bastio. Like that 17 is just gone. It's just done. Just carrying just carrying just carrying living expenses, right? Hey Tigzik, how's it going? Thanks for the follow, Rocklia. Is that unemployment check before or after taxes? I have no idea. I'm just saying that it's too little, and at best, at the very, very best, at its utmost best, it just covers living expenses. It just covers the roof over your head. Do we think unemployment should cover people living a luxurious lifestyle? What do you mean luxurious lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle do you think $1,700 a month gets you? for the duration of a, I don't know, pandemic. What do you think? What do you think the lifestyle is of someone who makes $1,700 on unemployment just temporarily during the pandemic? Hey, Anarchitty, how's it going? If you make less than 40K, you're likely to be poor and barely unable to meet bills. True. Yeah, it's already bad. It's already bad enough that, like, you lose your job out of no fault of your own. March 10,000, January 2011 month span. Yeah, like about this. I mean, but it could have been. It didn't have to be an 11-month span. That's what's so like frustrating about this. It didn't have to be an 11-month span, right? Because if we would have taken care of this from the beginning, if we would have given people the necessary stuff to stay home, it wouldn't be an 11-month nightmare, right? I mean, the impact would be much, much, much less, right? I'm not saying that we could have prevented every single incident, but we could have had a much better success than what's currently happening right now. I mean, and it would have been economically more sound. We wouldn't be in this position at all. We wouldn't be in this position at all. And now, wait till the numbers come in for everybody who was traveling. Who was traveling for the holidays. I mean, TSA, I think went through 1 point something million people. Hey, thanks for the follow, dude guy friendly. I like the username. This extreme time since many people have referred, but general unemployment should help people get by when they can't work, not to help maintain their lifestyle. But like, what do you mean lifestyle? Like, what are you talking about? What lifestyle are you supposed to sustain on $1,700 a month? Like, okay, you know, like this is like this is like basically saying like, oh, you know, we should be very careful because, you know, God forbid them poors get an extra couple $100 a month. Like, what? No. What do you think? And furthermore, what do you think is going to happen to the extra money? They're going to spend it back into the economy. The Xmas death spikes are coming. Oh, true, Larry Weird. Y'all need to peep those numbers in about 2 weeks from now. I mean, like, in the temporary, Canada has managed to find what, almost 2,000 per unemployed person, or the people who have been affected by COVID. Somehow they managed to find the ability to give that. And do you think that those people are living some type of luxurious lifestyle? No, it's just enough to cover them. And they're just gonna be pissed that their bailout is so small. Well, I mean, $600 isn't even going to cover rent. It's not even going to cover half of rent in a lot of places. Elon Musk had a capital gain of 100 billion this year, a crime against humanity. Yeah, I could think of 100 billion different reasons why that shouldn't be a thing. Canada has also passed over the disabled people. Yikes. How you doing, Lasu? How you doing, Ben? Hope you're doing all right. I mean, decent amount of them are misappropriating their money anyways. At least in Florida. Oof. Us folks on the bottom of the money stack are literally the ones keeping the economy running. You want it to stay going, make sure we can continue our our lavish lifestyle of being marginally above poverty and homelessness. But hey, at least we're getting 600 bucks. Man, what a slap in the face, man. Oof. Yeah, this is I get it. Like obviously in any scenario, I would always choose the more than the less, but I mean $600 is like it's honestly a slap in the face. It really is. And the fact that there's people, tens of millions of people who are needing this aid, they're not getting it, right? And like the fact that we're getting inadequate relief in favor of hey Chai Bureaucrat, in favor of tax breaks for racehorse owners instead of having like hundreds of billions of dollars for the military, having hundreds of millions of dollars allocated for random foreign aid. It's them. Yeah, it really is insulting. Saying that they could bribe this for the Senate races with this little money. Yeah, and then call it a great victory. That's what's really, really anchoring about this. Yeah, the DMCA bill is now law. It's true. It happened. The thing is, Revanilla, I hope you're doing all right, by the way. The thing is, with the DMCA bill, you have to, okay, so the DMCA bill isn't, like, exactly necessarily targeting individual creators. Like, for example, I'm not going to federal prison because I accidentally played that one song that's DMCA copyrighted, right? It's just not happening. But if I, for example, start my own streaming service like Twitch and I start streaming DMCA material, copyrighted material, for the purposes of getting advantage or making money, that's where I could get in trouble. But you could technically be charged with that. Yeah, if you're like in a commercial setting, where you're using this to gain an advantage or monetary gain as a streaming platform or as a streaming service, then yeah, you could get screwed. More than 100 million? Yep. I think about setting up a parent resource center and a clothing and bank. What do people with that much money? What do people do with that much money that doesn't benefit their community? They keep it and they continue to recycle it in stocks and all this other liquid assets. And it just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing, right? The only purpose is to make more. That's the problem. Senator Tom Tillis wants you to. Yeah, I know. But you know what? They ain't gonna get me. Nope. I'm not streaming any DMCA material. Everything that I do is completely DMCA free. And I stay within all of the, whatchamacallit? I stay, within all the, guidelines. I mean, this is just also so that I don't get kicked off any social media platform anyways, right? Senator Tillis wants to raid copyright violators. Yeah, I saw that might be a thing. But again, this is only for example, if you imagine like a modern day Napster. Imagine a modern day Napster that is a streaming website that all they do is just stream, or like a stream in a kind of Spotify scenario where they just stream constantly DMCA material without any type of license or without any type of rights to that music, that website would be a target for that new law, if that makes sense. The best economies have 100% of their money free flowing between as many people as possible. Yeah, because you want things to keep moving. I wonder how that will work for people outside the states. I don't know how they're gonna work that one out. I guess if you're based in the United States, they might go after you. Otherwise, I don't think they can do anything, to be quite frank. I saw Twitch has their own DMCA free music for streamers now. Oh, wait. That is true, but I wouldn't that is true, but I wouldn't trust it, Darknet, because it turns out that some of their songs isn't really DMCA free. So that caused a whole other poop storm, for lack of a better word. Yeah, Twitch has completely handled this backwards. They can't unless your equipment is in the USA. Right, so I don't know how that would work. Lawsuit. All I can say is, if you're a streamer or a content creator, just use DMCA material, or don't use anything that you can think will get you in trouble. And that even includes, by the way, technically, that includes your emotes. That includes any little alerts, the noise, the sound that your alerts make can be DMCA'd, because, like, for example, if you play a song that's DMCA'd, that's playing through your stream. Hey, Grolem, how's it going? Oops, I almost misspelled it incorrectly. Yeah, we're going over really quickly the DMCA stuff. Man, yeah, so if you can avoid it, just make sure that whatever it is that you have in the background is in DMCA. That's it. And either figure out a way to have background music that isn't DMCA. There's many available. I would like to do a collab to record some tunes for Left Twitch to use. That would be awesome. I highly recommend to link up with Pleep Plop Ben. In fact, I saw some of his acoustic work, and I think it's great. I think it's great. I'm pretty sure my co-host would love to work with that as well. What about games like Cyberpunk that had music in it? Nope, can't do it. Unless like here's the fix, which I've talked about multiple times. Here's the fix. Why don't you make a commercial version, a commercial license version, and just kind of give it to Twitch, right? To Twitch streamers or to platforms that they can use as a commercial. They're allowed to do it, and that's it. You give them a license. You can make a monthly fee, a yearly fee to use this music or use this content because you paid for it, and that's it, right? Like, this is a way to solve the problem. We have people in their 80s making legislation for us. Yeah. So I've made this like point before, but when we said we needed an update to the DMCA, making this into a felony wasn't exactly the update we wanted. They don't understand how the internet works, right? And like, fair use is a thing too. Like, you know, I got oh man, this still triggers me to this day. I got a video blocked on YouTube because of a 30-second is a 30-second parody of a advertising, not the actual content. It was a parody of the content, and I got nixed for it. I had to delete that segment. I love the Creative Commons license. It's a copyleft license. Yeah, so like something like that where you have like a universal license, and even the RIAA or the music industry or the media empire industry, the media industry could have a system where you lease out commercial licenses for streamers, or YouTubers or content creators or whatever. You have a specific license that they can buy. That can be just a yearly fee. You'll get your money, and that's it. I already was covering in the olden days of fair use. Right. I thought it was transformative. It wasn't the original content just being uploaded. It was a complete parody. Yes, it did use some of the original video, but it wasn't just a copy upload, right? A copy pasta of the original video. It was completely transformed. Hey, Mama Media, how's it going? How does this affect videos? Because I'm scared to show videos on my channel now. What I would advise is to try to stay away from actual large media videos. Like, for example, I don't know, a CNN clip. I wouldn't use that. I wouldn't use a CNN clip because I got I got nixed for I got nixed for showing like a CBS I got nixed for showing a CBS segment thinking I could do that. I cannot. Which is worrying me a little. Need mods. Yeah, well, Twitch should C-SPAN I think is okay. C-SPAN is okay. I'm serious. I wouldn't be too scared. If anything, what you can do is mute the music and play your own copyright-free music instead. So copyrights depend on how easily the company can sue and find you. Yeah, probably, to be honest. Someone who, like, you know, is streaming to, I mean, eventually they'll find you. So I wouldn't really trust that, because they're developing bots that can actually issue a DMCA strike live within 3 seconds. Yes, that's coming. That's coming, folks. They're developing a bot that can scan the site, issue a DMCA takedown notice, not a strike, but a takedown notice, like a, hey, this is copyrighted, within 3 seconds of listening to the media. Oh yeah, this is gonna be great, folks. Oh god, what a nightmare! What a nightmare! It is nonsense, Chai Bureaucrat. Twitch, my email said part of my issue is sync up. Everything is new, but I'm new to Twitch. What I would do is, oh, but you're trying the new Twitch software. Until stated, they can train bots on the data. Yeah, no, they have that, Darknet. The issue is they haven't deployed it to Twitch, right? They have it. It's just not deployed to Twitch yet. I honestly, Alio, I would try Slobs. I would try Streamlabs OBS. Because it seems like the Twitch software isn't that good. It's them allowing the copyright trolls to do their thing until stated as stream bots. Yeah, I know. It's going to be a nightmare. I thought DMCA doesn't apply if you're live, or is that the... No. It applies if I stream something DMCA. Right now, I will get nailed for it. If I stream something that's copyrighted, I will get nailed for it. It should be 15 seconds of sound for accuracy. Yeah. And what's really frustrating about like YouTube is that if you do, like, for example, I don't know, a 2.5 hour stream, right? Like I do, a 2.5 hour stream, that 10 seconds, that 15 seconds claims the entire stream. That's it. Yes. Yep. So every 10 minutes, start a new stream. No. Oh man. Yeah. So most games have the ability to mute the actual game music. They allow you to mute the game music, not the sound effects, the game music, and just kind of play your own background music, right? Being prepared for commercial public programming, a computer program, a music work, a motion picture, sound recording, if at the time of an performance. It's not so much, yeah. If the copyright owner has a reasonable expectation of commercial public performance and the copies or phono records of the work have not been commercially publicly performed in the U.S. with authorization and if unauthorized. Easy clap. That's right. We got the solution here, folks. We got the solution here. Yeah, that's right. Chai Bureaucrat got it correct. Those words aren't technically banned. They were okay. So I think people took that out of context. It's meant. So I fell for that. Okay, I made a comment on this. So I take that back. But no, the idea was you can't use things in harassing manner, right? You can't just send people over to different channels to harass them. You can't, as a user, constantly harass a streamer and things like that. It's just to make a point, right? That's it. This DMCA stuff is nonsense. True. I understand you shouldn't be able to make money by having a that just plays music like a radio station without playing for the music, but clips and background stuff and TikToks are nonsense. True. All of this true. The fact that this shit got passed in the first place just shows the disconnect between Congress and the people. True. 100% true. Like I said, when we said we needed an update to DMCA, it wasn't to make it a freaking felony. Well, that's it. I quit streaming. There's no need to despair over it. If you really want to pursue streaming, there's no reason to despair over it. All it is just making it easy. All it is just making it harder for us. And yeah, it does suck. It is really ridiculous. And the only thing that I can say is if you want to pursue streaming, this shouldn't stop you, right? No, I think that was Ben. Just be vigilant, right? Correct. But in time, all laws can be changed. Yeah, of course. So I know the background music that you guys can kind of hear is stream beats from Harris Heller. And yeah. That's it. What I do is here, guys. Just a quick show for myself. If you guys enjoy the channel, please make sure you hit that follow button. It really does help us out. And if you guys have a moment, if you guys have a moment, please head on over to our YouTubes and just click that subscribe button. It really does help us out. Again, thank you guys for being here. It really does. You guys really are what makes this channel go. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. All right, hit me up.
If I was to ask you what the most corrupt and most cartoonishly evil industry is in America, there's only one right answer. That is the music industry.
True.
Even not talking about the blatant abuse artists face in the industry as well as shady business practices and the constant exploitation of their artists.
True.
They are the only industry I can think of that constantly attacks the public directly. They're less of a music industry and more of a private military group that also owns music. They're doing everything they can to wage war on the public.
I
Over the
mean,
last 20 years, they've come up with some of the most barbaric, archaic, and just brutally out of touch and dangerous laws to try and protect their
oh,
copyrighted dog shit.
oops. I'm here watching it by myself. I'm sorry, folks.
And just this week, they've come up with a new wacky little humdinger where their political puppet, Tom Tillis, is trying to pass a law that he snuck into a bigger bill that would state a DMCA strike could carry jail time and a felony charge. So Twitch streamers, YouTube, Instagram, and probably TikTok, I would imagine it'll eventually extend to, if you played copyrighted material, even snippets, and by accident, you run the risk of a felony charge and potential jail time for it. Now, Tom Tillis is a U.S. political senator who is in the pocket of the music industry. I checked out his donor list, and he's actually a really cheap prostitute. Like, this guy
Oh my
is giving
God.
away his services for fucking cheap. This man's selling his soul for popsicle sticks. He's getting $2,000 from some of these musical organizations, but of course, Tom Tillis, being the human hemorrhoid that he is, who probably fishes for used needles out of the dumpster, he's also getting money off the books, I would imagine. But on the books, he's getting $2,000 from some of these musical organizations. In total, he's gotten about $100,000 from the entire music industry on the
True. This is actually true. He and just to kind of add to that, he got these funds straight right before the election that he won by like less than 2%. By like less than 2%.
books. Tom, if that's the price of your soul, I will form a PAC with a few of my friends and we will beat that price. If it's $100,000 to make you be our little marionette on the strings, we can negotiate and give you a better price for your services. So just hit me up, Tom, because we can beat that price and then you can dance for us. But until then, Tom Tillis has tried to sneak this law in
It
here.
is bribery.
You can read the
Legal
whole law
bribery.
that states DMCA strikes can carry a felony charge and jail time. And again, even if it's a total accident, it doesn't even state how much of it needs to be broadcast or anything. It's just the fact that if copyright material shows up on your stream or a content creator's content, you could face a felony or jail time. Currently, a DMCA strike at absolute worst is a misdemeanor, but that's not severe enough for the music industry. What they'd like is to take anyone that infringes on their copyright and execute them, make it a capital offense, put them in front of a fucking firing squad. They probably wouldn't care if you were 6 years old. If you heard a song that you didn't pay for, or even worse, accidentally had it playing in the background of a video, they'd probably just beat you to death with a baseball bat if it was up to the music industry. But up until now, the music industry couldn't fully fuck people in the mouth, so they turned to that annoying little pinworm in their asshole, Tom Tillis. Tom Tillis, being the little pinworm that's swimming in their colon hoping to catch some of the money that they shit out, decides to try and sneak this into this upcoming bill, and it's getting voted on in 2 days. So this is actually urgent. I didn't realize how urgent it was. I really figured that this would wither and die at some point in the pipeline, but they're trying their absolute best to just like smack this bad boy on the ass right through the Congress as quickly as possible.
Right, and the only reason they're able to do this, by the way, yeah, I know, the imagery is colorful, so to speak. But okay, so the point of this whole thing is like, the whole point of this thing is like the fact that you're able to get legally bribed into doing these things for not even that much. Hey, left flank vets, for not even like being able to not even that much, you can legally bribe a politician to do this. And it's true though. I mean, the music industry is extremely predatory. Jeez, I mean, like, isn't like enough is enough? But nope, not for them. Is a streamer then wait, I can't see this. But music in the game was purchased to be used. As a streamer then resistible to a license for all music? Yeah, it's just so annoying. Because, it's just so annoying because, they could have just made an entire license for streamers and just solved it there. Found a clip to run the Jules thought I mean, yeah, maybe.
A YouTuber named CharmX made me aware of just how soon it is coming up. I hate asking for trending hashtags, but at this point, I don't know what other options we have since it's coming up so close and they're really trying to fucking speed run corruption here with this bill. So I'd say start making a noise using hashtag stop.
Oh yeah, and also the reason why they were able to ram this through is because it is a must pass bill, right? So of course, anything in there has to pass no matter what. So they get the opportunity to sneak these little things in, and this is how, because in any other way, in any other normal circumstance, this would be shot down. This would be shot down.
DMCA. It's something quick and it's something simple to the point. Hopefully, if we can make enough noise with that trending hashtag stop DMCA, we can at least make people more aware of what's going on. And hopefully, at some point, someone sees that and it's like, holy shit, this is actually in this law. Man, we usually just close our eyes and say yes to whatever comes on the table. Wait, let's take a look at this one. This is bad. It's wishful thinking and a bit naive, but with so little time to actually do something about it, since they're just pushing this shit through at light speed, it's the only option I think that's available. So feel free to use hashtag stop DMCA if you want to have your voice hopefully be heard and hopefully change this ridiculous idea here. Now, at first, I wasn't as concerned about it. I kind of laughed at the law because I just didn't think it was possible to pass, but since it does seem like it's going in that direction, I watched a lawyer on YouTube talk about it, thinking like, okay, maybe I misunderstood, maybe it's actually not as bad as everyone's making it seem. Even after reading it, I didn't really see any way that it wasn't as bad as everyone made it seem, but I'm not a lawyer, so I listened to this video from a guy who is a lawyer, and he talks about it and how concerned he is about the law and how mad he is about it. So it really is as bad as people have hyped it up to be, but for some reason this one's not talked about that much, even though this is like the most devastating one. This would quite literally kill Twitch in particular. For example, Cyberpunk 2077, even when you turn off the copyrighted music function, which is still insane that we're at this point in time where you just have to disable music when you stream in video games, but even when you turn that feature off, there are still a few songs in the game that are possible DMCA strikes on your channel.
Jesus.
So even if you take every possible precaution when playing just a video game, you can still be hit with a DMCA strike, which, going into 2021, if this gets passed, could land you in jail. You could go to jail for playing Cyberpunk 2077 even on the streamer mode with copyrighted music turned off just because of an oversight where a few songs are still DMCA-able. That is absolutely scary. That's terrifying. And again, I can't believe we're at this point where if you're playing something, you have to turn off music for it. Fucking crazy. So I urge any of you that watch internet content, or God forbid make it at this point, to take this seriously. The reason why I'm talking about it so late is because I figured at some point down the pipeline, common sense would kick in and realize this is an unenforceable law and would lead to millions of people in jail.
Common sense. Oh man.
Fucking Trump had a DMCA strike on the official White House channel. Is there statute of limitations on this? Because wouldn't he also be facing a felony charge for that now? Because this is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. Copyrighted material sometimes just pops up places. It's not like an actual malicious intent to capitalize off other people's work. It's oftentimes just in such a gray area.
But okay, so I think that I'm gonna disagree a little bit, because technically the actual reading of the law does say you have to do this in a way to in a way that you're actually gaining financial incentives over this. Like, you're actually purposely doing this for the sake of getting taking advantage of it. I don't know what that means. Maybe Charlie over here is right. I don't know.
Area, you don't even know what you can and can't do half the time. And then when it comes to streams, sometimes people will donate a song to you that just automatically plays, could be copyrighted, and then you go to jail because someone fucking played a prank on you or something. It is so outlandish that this is even being considered by the fucking ancient fossils in Congress.
The ancient fossils in Congress.
The people that make these laws are like 98 years old that don't even use the internet and are afraid of email because they're worried that their fucking digital alarm clock's gonna hack them and rewire their brains during their sleep or something. It's just so fucked up. It's the dumbest goddamn law I've seen. It's like if the war on drugs did meth and then came up with this piece of shit to attack an invisible enemy audio wave villain. It's so silly. It is so incredibly silly. So again, hashtag stop DMCA. Hopefully we can do something so it doesn't pass. If it does pass, I don't even know how the fuck they enforce it. Again, I don't know how they'll do that, because even just playing a video game that you own puts you at risk for a DMCA strike. Like, if you take a video on your phone of a cool play you made in a video game, there's a chance to just get DMCA struck for it because there might be a song playing in the background of it.
Yep.
That's so absurd. Absolutely crazy. The greed of the music industry never ceases to amaze me. That's it. So yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be very mad. Whoa. Ooh. So if I'm not making money of it, I'm good? No. No, you still will get nailed for DMCA strike. It's just that, from my understanding, is that the whole felony stuff comes in if you decide to take advantage of it and start like doing it for commercial purposes and get a bunch of money or get advantage of it. I don't think this is going to be very successful in the long term. Make sure to keep contact with a lot of creators. Any data point at which someone wasn't hit with a DMCA or a similar person who does, you can take them to court. True. Hope you're doing all right, Left Flank Vets. By the way, I saw someone in my Facebook feed like post some of your tweets. It was pretty interesting. I was like, hey. With movies or shows in sequence, you can get the DMCA strikes, not for profit also. Yeah. The not for profit thing doesn't make it okay. It just seems like when you're purposely doing it to do, like, you know, commercial stuff or take advantage of it, that's different. What is this law? I thought it was only a felony creative streaming site to... Yeah, that's what I'm saying, K-Sizzle. That's what I think from what I've read. That's what that law is intending to target, right? No, he wasn't overreacting. Because at the time, remember, it hadn't passed yet. It hadn't passed yet at the time. So this was a couple of days before this entire thing dropped. So I think he was nonetheless, it is cause for concern. So I don't really necessarily believe it's like a overreaction. It's more of like, we need to sound the alarm bells before it gets worse than this. Nice, Chai Bureaucrat. Nice. I don't think anyone should get a felony. I mean, you get your right to vote taken away on too, and that's not cool. Are we on speaker? Oh man, nice. That's so cool. Chai Bureaucrat, I'm glad you got that opportunity. I still say my background is better. Yeah, it depends on what felony. That would be because and also the state, right? Because some states are different. Some states have different rules when it comes to voting because they are the ones who decide how they run their elections. So I think that it depends on state as well. Video stream should be a felony to create a site illegally to stream copyrighted things, just like it should be a felony like make prints of an artist. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it should be like a felony offense. What should be happening is actually getting to the root of the problem. We should all be talking about the root of the problem and just simply say, hey, listen, first of all, enough is enough. All right, you guys, too greedy. Too greedy, the RIAA, too much. But we'll give you this solution. How about we develop commercial licenses? That's it. Majority report background, Pac-Man, and ADT background all get into a fight. Who wins? Clearly mine. Is it possible for the law to be changed in the future? Yeah, absolutely. I bet the first time this ever hits the courts, it will be thrown out. I bet the first time if this ever hit a court and a judge looks at this, they're going to throw this out. What's a commercial license? Like a license, but so that if you have this license, like for example, let's say I pay for Spotify commercial version, right? Commercial streaming version. That means that I'm allowed to use whatever is on that platform because I have the commercial rights to it. Because I have the commercial license and commercial. I paid for the rights to use it. So there you go. That's it. It's done. It's solved. And every video game should have embedded into it the ability to just have the music in the background. Right? Exactly, Alio. I'd rather pay just for a license if it's like the if it's gonna come down to that. The packet is bot army doesn't hold a candle to Flesh and Blood supporters. True. Would also come with the direct link to the original artist. Sure, like you can make it so that you can make it so that this isn't to this ridiculous point. Spotify as a commercial platform? I don't think so. I'm just saying like an idea. TCG platform, there are some cards that are over worth 10k. True. There's another one. You can make the platforms buy commercial licenses, and then if you stream on their platform, all of that is already bought and paid for. You're good. That's another solution. Twitch and YouTube and whatever streaming service, Facebook, whatever streaming service is available, get access to these things by they providing the commercial license as a, as a integration of the platform. That way, you have absolutely no problem. I was watching the Sushi Dragon. He was using the Twitch music, and it automatically pops up to a link to buy the song. Jeez. No, I know. Oh man, that's so funny. But either way, 10K for a magic card. Ooh, this is like some power 9 levels. Y'all thinks DMC alone will get changed next year? It might. I think the first challenge to the DMCA, this new DMCA law, will get thrown out in court, maybe. And it's getting hyped out of control. Well, yeah, I've always said, like, guys, like trading card games, like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and, you know, things like this, they're like buying stocks. It's like buying stocks. It could even be changed this week if people contacted their representatives enough. True. That's a good idea. And call your representatives. Make your voice heard. This is like a version of direct action, and getting people who, even though it may or may not affect them, who care about you and care about the work that you do, have them call their representatives. Yeah, it's the real deal. True. Absolutely. And get slammed as a constitutional violation. Yeah, absolutely. Both. No. It was the Congress who passed this nonsense. No, the senator. Senators, actually both. All your representatives, call them. Because this has to pass, well, this had to have passed both Congress and Senate. You think millions of people will go to jail? No. No way. No way. Gotta hop off here. Just got a call to jump on. Have a good stream. Thank you so much, Grolem. Appreciate you stopping by. Still worth nearly $100. Isn't as fancy as a Black Lotus, but a Aether Vial. Nice. I need one of those. Y'all want some fancy meme streams? Y'all should check out Grolem. Right now, I'm paranoid about streaming games. Yeah, just trying to take off the audio of the music behind the streams. Hey, Alare, how's it going? And use DMCA free music. The one that I really trust, and I run it through YouTube's Content ID system, is Harris Heller's Stream Beats. Check them out on Spotify. Oops. You excited for the Kaladeem expansion coming up? The Kaladesh? Wait, is it Kaladeem or Kaladesh? Kaladesh, yeah. I love artifacts. What about the music that comes with the game? You can turn that off. Most games, you can turn that off. Otherwise, I would be very careful. That's all I would say. Otherwise, I would be very careful. All right, folks. Let me run through some of this here. I really did want to finish this. So apparently, this I can't believe that this is an actual like headline. Is 300 unemployment a boost to disincentivize work? But many workers, mostly those with lower pay, earn more while unemployed than at work. Wow, the horror. Many conservative lawmakers lambasted the policy as a disincentive to return to work. Such a dynamic would hold back the economy from a quick rebound, they argued. Democrats argued the enhancement was a necessity. Millions relied on the income support to pay bills and put food on the table at a time when finding a job was challenging, and it made sense to keep people home to prevent the spreading of the coronavirus. That was the entire premise of trying to introduce something like this, which should have been done from the beginning. The moment March came around, right? February, March came around, and they realized that this is not under control. This is absolutely not under control. They should have immediately deployed this type of policies and do a national response, national lockdown. Wow, numerous studies found that the $600 stipend didn't have a negative effect on the labor market. It turns out that, yeah, it doesn't. In the aggregate, it didn't inhibit people looking for work or cause them to leave a job they found. If you leave a job, by the way, so this is like ridiculous. This infuriates me right here. Thanks for the follow, Lily Pichu. This really pisses me off because like you don't get unemployment for leaving a job. You know that, right? Oh, cow theme. It's a Viking theme. I might actually check that out. I haven't been into the MTG scene in quite some time. I have to check that out. So yeah, you don't get an unemployment because you leave your job. Businesses didn't have find trouble recruiting for job openings. Wow, amazing! It's almost like people inherently aren't like lazy. Like, what are you talking about? Does that mean the Minecraft music needs to be muted? I don't know. I take all precautions necessary. I just play DMCA free music in the background. I would check out stream beats. That's it. That's the only thing. The only advice that I can say is be very careful and try to do your best. Because again, this isn't going to target you because you messed up that one time. Okay. But I would be very careful. And if you happen to make a mistake, do your part and just delete the VOD. That's it. Do your part and delete the VOD. That's all you got to do. There weren't enough jobs and too many people were unemployed, said Iona Marinescu, an assistant professor of economics at the University of Pennsylvania, who co-authored one of the studies. It just wasn't a problem of the big scale things. The supplements lapsed in July. Democrats wanted to extend it, but Republicans were opposed. This time around, lawmakers seem to be less vocal about their opposition. Yeah, because they know. But the relief legislation shows it's still undermined, according to labor experts. It's left over from the $600 concern. So if there is no evidence for $600 to be a concern, if there is no actual evidence for $600 to be a concern, what exactly is the concern for $300? Half that. We need the stimulus. Yes, the economy needs the stimulus. This is so frustrating. Can you read the New York Times article about the girl that said the N-word? Oof. What happened there? A typical person would replace about 85% of their daily lab check with an extra 300. Wow, about 85%. Nobody should be up in arms about this. Much less our representatives who are supposed to represent us and take and do what they have to do to take care of the country. Someone got her kicked out of college years later. Yikes. Oh, did they vote on this? God forbid anyone find my current chat logs. Uh-oh. I would get cancelled and exposed. The House of Representatives on Monday will vote on a bill to send 2,000 stimulus checks to Americans in lieu of the 600 included in the coronavirus stimulus and government funding package. The vote will come after Trump for the better part of the week railed against the size of the checks and the amount of foreign aid included in the massive combination of two legislative accords that lawmakers sent to his desk. The Monday vote won't address the quote-unquote pork that Trump has said he wishes to cut, despite the fact that he requested much of it in his budget. That's so funny. But this is how things work. But he will force the GOP members to go on the record whether to increase the price tag on the stimulus checks after the president demanded they do so. I simply want to get our great people 2,000 more rather than the measly 600 that is now in the bill. Yeah, sure. And you also want goodies attached to that. You want that Section 230 repealed. Now, the president must immediately call on congressional Republicans to end their obstruction and join him and the Democrats in support of our standalone legislation, increase direct payments to 2,000, which will be brought to the floor tomorrow, said Nancy Pelosi Sunday night. So, I don't know if they've already voted on this. Did they already vote? Senate vote on 2,000 stimulus check will test Donald Trump's influence over GOP lawmakers. Yeah, I don't want to stream games anymore if it means not doing the game music. I feel you. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't stop that from streaming. I wouldn't stop that. That wouldn't stop me from streaming. I would just be very careful. Trump eventually caved after days of backlash over delayed relief to struggling Americans, ending the prospect of a government shutdown. No. In a statement, Trump said that he would sign the bill amid bipartisan pressure to prove urgent financial relief. Yeah, so the Senate would vote on such a rise after the House vote scheduled for Monday. So they haven't voted on this yet. Can we? Let's see. Yeah, I don't see that they've voted on it yet. Oh well. Wow. That's so messed up. Like, what exactly is the motivation to do this other than, racism? All I can do is hope and pray that DMC bill gets changed next year. I officially hate 2020. Well, not over yet. Ooh, actually, I'm curious to see what the polls are for the Georgia race, just really quickly. This is very, very, very close. This is very, very close. All this is gonna come down to oh wait, I'm sorry guys. This is gonna come down to voter turnout, basically. This is all gonna come down to voter turnout, and yeah, this is within this is essentially, for all intents and purposes, a statistical tie, so we can't really say. I guess whatever happens on January 5th, yeah, this is very, very close. So again, if you live in Georgia or know somebody in Georgia, please pay attention to this local election. I mean, not local election, senatorial race. Good thing the Biden crime family's gonna rig it. Yeah, the fix is in already. The fix is in already, so there's no point. There's no point in showing up. It's a complete toss-up. Turnout should be huge with the effort to get the voters out there. Yeah, I saw that there was a great push to try to bring out as many people as possible, and it is going to be determined by turnout. There's no point in voting if you're Republican. They'll just dominionize your vote anyways. Exactly. Exactly correct. Speaking of which,
2020 has been a year like no other. Everything we know, everything we trust,
is
and
fake.
everything we've come to rely on has changed. So how could we expect the U.S. election to be any different?
How can we expect the U.S.
Mainstream
election?
media are telling us the race is over.
Yeah.
Biden won.
Yep.
Time to move on.
True.
Nothing to see here, folks. But in your gut, you know
something's
just not right.
Just not
From the
right.
strange patterns on election night, to the weeks of suspense,
Good
to the
lord.
reports of fraud that
Yeah, so what he's talking about is just like mail-in ballots that got counted, right? That's what he's talking about.
evaporate faster than Biden's memory.
Biden's memory.
It just doesn't add up.
Is this the guy who says that CCP has taken over America? Probably.
Stay with me, and you'll see just what's going on behind the scenes in this election.
In this
And
election.
why the greatest threat we're facing right now
is
is not an invisible enemy invading our bodies.
be
but
scared.
one that's invading our country and our minds.
Our minds. Yeah, this is the guy, Darknet.
Welcome to Man in America. I'm your host, Seth Holhouse. Let me ask you, how do you know what's happening in the world right now? How do you know what's going on in this country?
We have news outlets, and we also can corroborate these things. How do we know anything?
Or even your city? I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume you probably turn to mainstream media, which includes social media. Perhaps you watch Tucker in the evenings, or read New York Times Sunday morning, or check Facebook on your lunch break. So how do you know what's going on in the U.S. election?
When the president
What
is,
did you
yeah,
think on
every
election
single.
night when historically red states and battleground states were stalled, while blue states were immediately called for Biden? Or when Fox called Arizona with so many votes still out, of course, for Biden?
Because that's what happened. What are you talking about?
And how about the late night ballot dumps that were somehow all for Biden?
All for Biden because your moronic president railed against mail-in ballots for months at a time. So yeah, no wonder nobody decided to use mail-in ballots, and the ones who did were overwhelmingly, to the tune of like 80 to 90%, were for Joe Biden. Why? Because you had been talking about the problems with mail-in ballots for months, so nobody used them. He had massive dumps all night. True.
And the batches of pristine mail-in ballots also all for Biden. And then there were the burst water pipes, and the power outages, and the computer glitches, and issues with Sharpie pens, and lost USB
The real Sharpie gate, folks. The real Sharpie gate, even though that the ballots themselves tell you that it will be read just fine.
drives that somehow all favored Biden.
Somehow.
And then we have the hordes of dead voters, once again,
Hordes.
all for Biden.
No, incorrect. What a Weasley little liar. What a Weasley little liar. So do we need to bring up all the instances where Trump supporters tried to use dead people? Like, for example, that guy who used his dead mother to try to vote for Trump twice. What about that other person who got caught in who got caught soliciting mail-in ballots for dead people that he knew? I mean,
The dead people really did vote for Biden. I fact-checked it.
oh yeah,
And what are the
I
odds?
fact-checked it. Are you going to present us this evidence? You fact-check it. Where is it? What's the evidence? All those hurricanes. That was the chillest death slam ever.
Odds that all the last-minute changes to our election process and voting laws in the name of COVID also favored Biden? And how about all the counties with more votes than eligible voters, or where they got more mail-in ballots than they even sent out? In Pennsylvania, they sent 1.8 million mail-in ballots and got back 2.5 million. And last but not
Maybe other people requested them when they realized they didn't get theirs in the mail.
least, we've got Dominion, the voting system with ties to socialist Venezuela that was programmed to manipulate votes for Biden while sending our data to China, Iran, and Russia.
So we got Venezuela, China, Russia, all working together. Jesus. Wow. I'm pretty sure in the next 5 minutes he's going to give us a whole bunch of evidence for that. I'm sure. It's oh yeah, Iran. I'm sorry. Yes, Iran, China, Venezuela, and Russia all conspired together. Yes. Hamas, that's right. Dominion.
And when the system crashed because of the Trump landslide, key battleground states simply decided to stop counting and head on home. When has this ever happened before in U.S. history?
Every single election. Do you expect that like people have to stay 24/7 counting the day, so they just don't get to go home? Like, what are you talking about? They just have to stay there until all the votes are counted?
This is just the tip of the iceberg. Every one of these reports should be serious grounds for investigation.
So
Thousands
trash.
of poll workers, postal workers, election officials, and honest Americans, both Republican and Democrat, have come forward with photos, videos, and firsthand stories affirmed by sworn affidavits documenting massive voter fraud.
Massive.
Social media has been flooded with them, yet mainstream media keeps asking, where's the evidence?
Yeah.
Once everyone is gone, coast is clear, they are going to pull ballots out from underneath a table.
Oh no.
Watch this table.
Watch closely.
Do you see the gentleman in the red? So he just pulled one out. So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots?
Watch.
And why
Watch
are
as
they
they count
counting them
ballots.
whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses?
Watch
Where's
as
the evidence?
I'm here with Elliot right now.
Watch as they count
and
ballots.
We're taking the trash out, and I wanted to show you guys what we found in the trash can at St. Anne's, which is a polling place.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. 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 And there's more ballots in this trash can.
Inside that trash. But we will say we did find one Biden.
Where's the evidence?
So these seem to be two things. Either these mail-in ballots were already already turned in, because you have to turn in your mail-in ballot if you plan to vote in person, by the way. You have to turn in your mail-in ballot if you vote in person, and you can use your mail-in ballot as like a cheat sheet, but they'll throw it out. Or it's just a sample ballot. It's either one of those two things.
Can you calculate how much of a vote that accounted for Biden and how much for Trump?
Close to 600,000. I think our
Ooh.
figures were about 570 some odd thousands.
Weren't these the same people saying we should stop the vote?
For
Yeah.
Biden.
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
Now, hold on. Didn't they just drag us through a baseless 4-year witch hunt into Russian election interference over far less evidence?
Yep. Wait, no. People were indicted and went to jail that then were pardoned by the president. What are you talking about? Why did they throw out the ballots when they could have easily just made the Venezuelan CCP voting machines automatically change? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And on top of that, how were the Republican congressional races won on the same fraudulent ballots? Weird. Are you saying the Republicans also committed fraud?
For evidence? Wouldn't Nixon have gotten away with Watergate if the media didn't dig for evidence? Not only aren't they digging for it right now, but they're burying it in a giant game of whack-a-mole, along with their comrades over at Twitter, Facebook,
Comrades.
and Google. Of course they have their fact check.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Debunk everything first. These arbiters of truth who have more conflicts of interest than flavors of ice cream in Nancy Pelosi's freezer. Even President Trump's tweets are
Comrade Zuckerberg.
fact-checked and censored.
Yes, because
and
it's
his press
false.
conferences are interrupted and cut off.
Okay, here we are again in the unusual position of not only interrupting the President of the United States, but correcting the President of the United States.
For spewing out
what this means.
BS. Yeah.
The President of the United States of America is being censored by U.S. companies.
Censored.
This whole thing reeks of corruption. And not just corruption, but treason. It's such a joke that I'd be laughing if it wasn't so serious.
This is beyond parody. How do you satirize this? If Trump was mature to run again in 2024, I don't know if he's going to run again. Sometimes Mr. Piecework.
But it is serious. Because let's assume for a moment that just a fraction of the fraud reports are true. If mainstream media and social media didn't let you see or even talk about them, how would you even know? Think about it.
How would you know?
If our election was stolen and our government was overthrown and yet they kept it all hidden, how would you know? If mainstream media can completely control public opinion and the flow of information, including from our president, does the truth even matter? What if I told you that every single one of our mainstream media, including Fox, is being used as a tool to manipulate public opinion and steer the outcome of the election? Perhaps a year ago, you might have called me a conspiracy theorist, but considering we've all been living
you are a conspiracy theorist
in the twilight zone lately, you're probably starting to realize that anything's possible. Just try to wrap your head around this.
What? Anything's possible? I guess, but like, sure, anything's possible. Tomorrow, it is possible that we might be hit with a asteroid. Anything is possible.
How did the media so accurately predict the long delays in counting votes and the red mirage before the blue wave? And why did they spend months downplaying the risks of mail-in ballots?
Wait. We talked about the red mirage because we knew what was going to happen, because he kept claiming that mail-in ballots were going to be a problem. So therefore, we could accurately predict the fact that he kept telling his millions of followers to not vote by mail. We could predict that the initial red mirage would say, okay, all these people who voted in person are probably Trump, and then all the mail-in ballots are going to start coming in. Those are going to be disproportionately for Biden, because we know this because the President of the United States spent months railing against them. Jesus Christ. Exactly, Alio. His soft voice is unbelievable.
Sowing the seeds that Trump would claim voter fraud and refuse to concede.
Because that's what happened. This isn't like some grand conspiracy. We can accurately predict that was going to happen because Trump was talking about this for months.
Do they have a crystal ball?
No.
Why did Hillary Clinton tell Biden not to concede under any circumstances all the way back in the summer?
What? Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances.
Why did they spend the last 4 years using...
Who cares what Hillary Clinton has to say? She wasn't running.
...every possible tactic to undermine Trump's presidency in the most relentless smear campaign the world has ever seen? And why did every single mainstream media rush to coronate Biden and cement him into the public mind?
Because he won the election?
Now do you understand why he told voters, I don't need you to get me elected?
I don't need you to get me elected.
It never mattered
that
he hid in his basement all summer. It never mattered that only 5 people turned up.
Gaff number 250,388. 100% proof this election was fake.
To his rallies. And it never mattered that he couldn't even string a sentence together.
True international effort to pressure.
It never mattered that the majority of Americans chose President Trump on November 3rd. And
They did not.
It doesn't matter that their fraud is more obvious than the stains on Monica Lewinsky's dress. Because when you control every single channel of information, nothing else matters. Right now, big media, big tech, big government, and even celebrities are blanketing us with the narrative.
Big government? Who's big government? Are you talking about like Trump too?
That Biden won, while censoring all evidence of fraud and concealing the very real truth that our nation is facing its greatest threat since the American Revolution.
Wow.
Because as our founding fathers knew all
since
too
the American Revolution, no way.
We no longer have free speech and a free press to keep the government in check. We no longer have a democracy.
What? I'm confused. Okay. Just casually, the President of the United States tweeting this, and also tweeting that, see you in Washington on January 6th. Don't miss it. Casually. These are all normal things that happen. These are all normal things that happen in the, in a normal, healthy democracy. Now the president has notice how the president has to tweet a conspiracy theories to prove his case. Yeah, no, this is not based in any way, shape, or form in reality. I was hoping to actually hear some comments about the bombing that happened in Tennessee, but you know, we're still molding over the election results that happened a month ago. Jesus Christ. All right, folks. It is about to approach 11:30. I do gotta get going. Because the American Revolution wasn't ascertained by capitalists and state. Well, no, I don't think that's why it started. But the idea that this would be the greatest threat to America since 1776, no. And the idea that there's like some massive conspiracy with Venezuela and China and Iran and Russia, all of this together. No, this just didn't happen. Alright folks, it is 11:27. I gotta get going. Let's head on over and check out, let me see here. Raid channel. Yeah, let's go on over to Ben. Yeah, let's head on over to Ben's channel. Ben does good work. I love hanging in Ben's channel while I work, so let's go ahead and head over. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are what make this work. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And again, if you enjoy the channel, make sure you smack that follow button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really does help us out. We really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, Madam Defarge, for those 2 gifted subs. Thank you for all the new follows. I appreciate all that. And as always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! I almost did like a half dab there. Alright folks, let's head on over to Ben's channel. Have an awesome day. You too, thank you so much. Wait, running that quick action later? Wait, no, raid. Alright, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go.